I don't know.
Or Savannah.
I don't know, but we're going back
Or
here.
Anna.
What you doing?
Or
We're
Donna.
live. Stop it. We got to do this now.
It worked.
Felicitations. Good morning. How are you? Good afternoon. Good noon.
Good noon.
Good noon. I don't know what to say. But
Well, God forbid you should let me say something.
there's no surprise there, is there? That I don't know what to say. Ah, dear.
I know what I'm going to say is, holy crap, it's Monday again.
It's true. Let's go over and see whether these good people have joined us. There are people joining. It looks this way. If you can see us and the equipment is working, we hope it's working.
Oh my goodness.
I hope I haven't tempted fate because I said, I think we're ahead of the game this morning.
Look, it's going to start. Oh no.
Well, apparently we're supposed to be going. If you can see us, just chime in and say hello.
Well, it says 0 viewers.
I've scared them off, I did.
I think so.
It's possible. No, I think it's just weird. No, there's people coming back now. It's,
all right, there you
it's
go.
just weirdness. I don't know how all this works. There's just this crazy delay in everything. That's
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it puts us on before it puts the logo thing on, and then it puts us back on.
Really.
It's very odd. I think like we're mumbling, and then the logo thing goes on, and then it comes back to us, and we say hello.
I got news for you. We're always bloody mumbling. There's a mumbling about something. That's for sure. Oh gosh.
My, anyway.
Well, if you're out there in viewerland and you can actually see us, do say hello, and then
So we
we'll
know that it's working.
Well, no, we're not just here for an exercise in
Futility.
self-edification.
Oh, self-edification.
Self-edification, isn't that wonderful? It's like, I don't know, blowing your own trumpet, I guess. I don't know what
I think I need a cup of coffee today.
You gave the maid the day off,
I
otherwise
always
I'd
give
send
her
for
off,
one, wouldn't I? Come on, people,
Right.
say something. Anyway, we'll just keep going because I'm seeing stuff that lies like a cheap watch where it says 0 views because that's your actual count there. And look, the bar thing's going.
The bar
up.
thing is moving.
The bar thing is going up. So, what are you saying? It's too early for the bar?
I don't know.
That's it.
All right. Well, we have a lot of things to talk about.
Don't
there's
we?
Cassie.
Yay,
Hello.
Cassie! Thank you for letting us know we're not talking to ourselves.
So
We
I'll
appreciate
just
it. Okay.
talk about the few exciting things that happened this week, which is why the week went by so really quickly.
So, blur.
And then we'll get into the content of today's show because we're going to talk about some of the astrological shifts that are happening this month for March.
Yes.
All right. So some of you might have noticed we got a merch shelf. We got T-shirts.
Shameless plug.
So you can get T-shirts and stickers and tote bags. And Anton designed a really cute tote bag that has the green recycle triangle, and it says "C," which is really our green. And there's a Caradwin tote bag with her hands held like this. We have mugs.
We have tie-dyes even.
Tie-dyes and hoodies, so it's really
fun.
cool, and that would help us make some money, right? So we're trying to get some money in
We
for
don't-
the Teen Alpha project.
Exactly. We don't make a lot, but it's
No.
it's something, which is wonderful.
We also have membership opened up,
Oh, yes,
so
yes,
you
yes.
can do a $5 membership, and if you do that, we'll give you $5 back in karma points. And then we have a $20 membership where you get the $5 in karma points, but you also get privilege to
secret.
like a hidden channel in the channel where we'll do mini workshops and meditations and things like that.
Hello, Wendy. Happy Monday.
The new barn video comes out this afternoon at 3 or 2?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock?
2 o'clock. You have so got to see that. It's hilarious.
This one's funny. You're going to want to watch all the way
You've
to
got
the
to
end.
watch it all the way through to the end for sure, for definite. But it is a little bit on the funny side. So, yeah.
And we have our live Witches Tea Party on YouTube tonight at 6:30.
Yep, 6:30
Where
to
we'll do
7:30.
questions for super chats or
channel members.
Cups of coffee or channel members, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have a number of different decks. So it's like
it's just like an
it's like a
exploration thing.
smorgasbord, isn't it? It's all fun and good stuff
And
like that.
this week the new videos come out for March's magical year.
Oh.
And March's...
Oh, you're going to sneeze. Blessings upon you.
How professional. And March's Witchy Wonders.
Truth is, you're allergic to me, I think. That's what
Maybe
it is.
so. I don't know, after all this time. No, I'm still, as you can see, my face looks like a teenage acne mess. I'm still having problems with this medicine.
One day they'll get you off it, I'm sure. Yep.
The medicine is better than being in the hospital, though.
Well, I suppose, I suppose.
And the really cool thing that happened is tarot for tomorrow.
Oh, gosh, you don't know about that, do you?
So
you might.
Lots of different people are doing like card of the day, where they post that in the morning. But I thought it's really nice to kind of be able to sleep on it. So I did tarot for tomorrow, so you can see what the prediction is for the following day and what's being offered and how best to cope with that or plan for it. I'm really sorry.
I could fill you in with the details here, but I'm not. I'm not the person who does this. I'm just like I hack it all together and stick it up, because I have to drive the equipment. She's like
she's the editing.
What do you call it? Creatrix.
I like that word.
Well, you've got the creative talent without doubt. It's just you just don't do computers. Tarot for tomorrow is awesome, says Wendy.
Thank you for your vote of
confidence. It doesn't suck.
I want you to know I sat down and did 30 of them in succession. I just did, Tuesday, March, blah, blah, Wednesday, March, blah, blah, Thursday, March, blah, blah. So I don't even know what's coming for the next day that way, and then I can listen back and be like, oh. So I listened last night, too, to see what the prediction for today.
What did I say? Yeah, well, we have these crazy busy lives, so we'll sit down and we'll like binge create.
Yeah, just do a bunch of whatever we're doing and then put them up.
Binge create.
So they're all set to go. They're all up on YouTube.
Well, then they're not, because we can only do...
YouTube is
2 weeks, and TikTok is
only
10 days, and the 10th day was a problem as well. It's interesting, actually. It's surprising, though. But we're trying to cover all our bases. As well, we're trying to be less of a well-kept secret, because it's 30 years in business for us this year, and I can't tell you, almost daily, somebody walks in, I've lived in town for like 15 years, and never you were here.
And I tell them platform 9 3/4, you only find it when you're ready. Yeah.
So we're doing our best to be less of a well-kept secret, and hence our cunning plan of the sweep team, because you guys can help us.
So TikTok and YouTube are interesting because they're kind of polar opposites. And the video that does really, really well on YouTube doesn't get very many hits on TikTok. And then the video that goes like 500, 600, 700 views on TikTok, that's like 50 views on YouTube. It's such a different audience, but we are who we are. We try to be authentic and create videos based on who we really are, not necessarily videos for a particular venue. But it's really funny that some things are very successful in one venue and some things are very successful in the other.
I know. It's just, there's such a plethora. I mean, I don't know if you guys, because I'm obviously speaking to the highbrow audience here on the Tube of View.
Yes, I think that's what it is. I think we've got the...
This is for the more sophisticated viewer, I think, to be honest. As TikTok has got, it's certainly got a very much younger, and I would almost, posit immature feel to it in a lot of respects.
Yeah, they're seekers, but they're not. They don't have a lot of experience.
No, there's I've yet to see a riveting piece of theatre on on TikTok, but I mean that's such is the nature of it. It is. I think it is what it is, and it certainly serves a place without doubt.
It's just bizarre, and it's so like almost like an ADD thing where every 2 seconds there's a different thing.
I just think that's the way it is. We've transitioned as a society into I want to say particularly in the Western world, almost instant gratification. Yeah, if there was a button on your Amazon thing that says materialize now for an extra $5, everybody would press it, wouldn't they? And it appears straight in front of you. There you go. You didn't have to do anywhere. It's all good. So who's joining us now? We've got a bunch of people. So say hello. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. We do say hello back. We love our audience. We love to talk to people, and we've got some fun stuff to do.
Well, yes. This month we have 2 pretty big shifts. Saturn is going to leave Aquarius, and Saturn has been in Aquarius for about 3 years, and it's going to move into Pisces. And Pluto, which has been in Capricorn for years, is going to move into Aquarius, and it will be in Aquarius for about 21 years.
Enjoy.
So I think what I'd first like to say is let's think about these last 2 decades, from 2000 up until now, and we'll think about Capricorn. And Capricorn is the merchant banker, right? It's all about the Benjamins. It's all about money.
Kind of.
And when we look at these last 2 decades, there's certainly been some very interesting things, the euro.
The whole the shift to electronic funds transfer.
Bitcoin, bank bailout. All those kind of things are very much Pluto, like destroying and recreating that kind of part of the society. It's known as a generational planet. It's an outer planet. And yes, I believe it's a planet, even though it may be a dwarf.
Do you know what? 6 out of 7 dwarves just aren't happy. It's true.
How am I supposed to deal with him?
Sorry. Moving on.
Right. So it will retrograde back into Capricorn in May, because we know we always, whatever's going on, we get a second chance, and then it goes forward again. So it's going to retrograde from May until January 24. But after that, But after that, it will be in Aquarius for 2 decades. So Aquarius is the humanitarian, the partnership, the friend kind of thing, yeah? So I think what we'll see is a shift definitely in how people in society treat each other.
That would be good.
All right.
A little bit of civility and human kindness would go a long way, in my opinion.
So some of the things coming up this month are, right now we have Sun in Pisces, and that shifts into Aries on the 21st. The
equinox.
The spring equinox, and the new moon happens on that day as well. So this new moon is at 0 degrees Aries.
Wow.
So I would look at that energy like the Fool. And the full moon, and I'll talk more about this in the, my esoteric consultations taroscope thing. And the full moon is going to be our 6th out of 7 at 16 degrees in Virgo. So this is another tower energy.
I got that right in my head there. It was our psychic fair this weekend. I'm so sorry. But I can't begin to tell you the amount of times the tower card came up in completely unrelated readings. And it was like...
You were like, what the hell?
This is interesting, isn't it? But I think we've got to that point where yeah, there's been too much BS for too long, and the crap is going to collapse under its own weight, I think. I think there will be some rude awakenings for some people who have, how should we say, been somewhat economical with the truth. I think that may be...
exactly.
I think that may be a fair point here.
I think that, all kings must fall kind of thing. All right. So Saturn is the planet that has the glyph that kind of looks like a chair, right? It's like this 2 humps and a cross. So it looks like a chair.
Sit down.
Yeah, sit right down here. You're going to listen. So Saturn is our little bit of like a taskmaster. But moreover, Saturn is the lesson giver. Right? So it's very karmic in nature.
Right.
But its desire is for you to work your shit out. Right? it's saying, it's like the teacher at the beginning of the class says, write this down, it's important, and you'll need it to do your homework. And some kids write it down, and then they get home and they've got it for their homework, and they think, cool, I'm going to work this out. Other kids think, well, I'll remember that.
And don't.
Or they don't care at all, and they're not going to get through that lesson. The teacher's going to have to repeat that lesson to them until they learn it, because they're not going to get through that section of life if they don't.
Even worse, they might get detention and have to relearn the lesson. Ha ha, how Saturn is that?
Right. So I pay close attention to Saturn, especially when it shifts.
Hello, Savannah. How
Hello,
you
Savannah. You're just in time for the fun stuff. I pay close attention to Saturn, especially when it's shifting decadence or shifting signs. And Saturn, Saturn has an out of sign conjunction with the new moon. That was just bad. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on.
I think we were mentioning that. It's like
last week.
It's like a crossover where you've got that amalgam of
Energy.
two disparate energies really focused together, which is kind of interesting.
Well, not necessarily disparate, but it's an odd conjunction. But anyway, all right. So Saturn moving into Pisces. Now we know each sign has an opposite sign.
Well, there are only 6 signs in
the reflections, right? So Virgo. 6th house energy. Virgo, we have Virgo in that 6th house energy, which is service to others, right? That's our work and our health kind of sector. And when we look at this axis and we come over to the other side, we have Pisces. And Pisces is service to spirit.
Interesting.
It's also a water sign. And hi, Anna.
Hey, Anna. No, we're having a busy day too. It's all good. Don't worry.
So service to spirit, like divine service, and that very kind of creative muse kind of thing. So these next 3 years, I think the lessons and the focus are really going to be on water. Large bodies of water like the ocean, drinking water, the memory of water, and the water within ourselves. So these next 3 years, I think as a whole, people need to pay attention to their water intake and to any illnesses, Virgo axis, like edema, or things like that. For these next 3 years, this is kind of our lesson, like how to and how not to. So when I was thinking about all this Pisces and Saturn in Pisces, and I said, oh, I remember we used to have a little study group, and we worked with something called the crystals in water. I said, what was that guy? Oh, Dr. Emoto. And I said, I think I have Dr. Emoto's oracle.
Apparently you do.
Which is this. And I said, well, I'll talk about that on Monday, because I'm always preparing.
And everybody's going to want one.
I'll talk about that on Monday, and everybody will want that deck.
Which is out of print.
For almost 20 years, and then I realized how old I am. It's like, that was yesterday. But this deck is nearly 20 years old. But I did manage to find 4 new old stock.
Oh, well done you.
So I have 4 of these oracles at the store. I think they're $25. But Dr. Emoto...
That's actually cheaper than current oracle for the most part, aren't they? I think most things are like $29, $30.
I don't know, but
okay.
they're really, really interesting. But before we dive too deep into this, I just want us again to kind of think that the focus for the next 3 years, while Saturn has its tour of Pisces, it is spiritual service, dream time,
Bless
So
you.
sorry. Spiritual service, dream time, and paying attention to water. And when we look at different cultures, in the craft, we certainly see the element of water as connected to the ancestors,
Oh yeah.
right?
What lies beneath?
We see that that twilight or that tween time of the veil to other, and we very much feel that water is connected to ancestors.
Yeah, the portal to Anavan as well. Yeah.
Portal to Anavan. And when we look at Native American indigenous people, they feel that the tears of the ancestors are the rain. Right? And in many of our studies, we find that water is connected to the emotions, right? And people have happy tears or they cry from grief or sorrow. So all of these things are going to be in our subconscious or our peripheral subconscious as Saturn tours Pisces. It's kind of be our filter or our lens for these kind of events, as well as, like I said, an undertone of health issues that have to do with water retention or lack of water, dehydration, things like that. And Dr. Emoto put forth the idea that water has memory.
I bet it does, you know.
So would you read this little introduction in here? Because I think this...
Absolutely. One thing I just wanted to say, because it really just inspired me when you were talking about the tears of the ancestors. I mean, if we think about it, every single drop of water on this planet has been here since it first got here.
Just been recycled.
And
right?
it is continually recycled. So if anything can speak of the cycle of, life, death, rebirth, and that continual memory of being, it's there.
I don't know if anybody has a copy of The River is Flowing, but The River is Flowing, Anton wrote a poem in the middle of that about the cycle of water. And those CDs are for sale. Our church is selling them to make money, obviously, for the church. But hi, Courtney.
Hello, Courtney. So, yeah. So water knows stuff, and we don't know. We can't live without it. We really
We're
can't
mostly
live
water,
without
right?
it. We are, absolutely.
On a cellular level, yeah.
So this is what Dr. Masaru Emoto wrote in The Hidden Messages in Water. I think that was his book, wasn't it?
Hidden Messages in Water, yes.
The Hidden Messages in Water, which is, if you can get hold of a copy of it, it's a seminal work. It's well worth reading. So he wrote, The Water Crystal Oracle. From my research, I believe that the water of the oceans has memories of all the creatures that lived in the ocean, and that the Earth's glaciers may well contain millions of years of the planet's history. Water circles the globe, flowing through our bodies and spreading to the rest of the world. If we can interpret this information contained in the memory of water, we can understand the cosmos, the marvels of nature and life itself. I always stress that energy is vibrations and vibrations are life. Words are vibrations. Ain't that the truth?
Well, our breath is not just air. Our breath has like a mist to it, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, absolutely it does. Words are vibrations. Words are therefore life. I believe that the ancient peoples knew that everything begins with vibrations, and that they were aware that vibrations are life, light and sound. I think that humans created words for the purpose of distinguishing these sounds and sharing them with others. So the sounds of the words are nothing less than a divine gift from nature. Water crystals are illustrating this divine gift in their design. Water is a medium that receives and understands even the subtlest vibrations. Water captures vibrations naturally, even when these vibrations are in characters or letters representing language. Water shows us the energy they contain in the forms of crystals. Water is attempting to communicate something to us. Negative emotions prevent the water from crystallizing. Positive emotions allow it to develop into beautiful hexagonal shapes. Interesting, sixes again. Water makes up 70% of our bodies, and there is little doubt to me that the information in the water goes a long way to the formation of our health, as well as our attitude toward the world and the attitude of the world towards us. I have had many requests from my readers to make posters and photos of the water crystals I have discovered. I have chosen to create an oracle of cards of my water crystal photographs so that my readers can use them for practical purposes in their lives. In this deck there are 48 cards divided into 4 sets of 12 each. Healing cards, wisdom cards, power cards, and earth cards. So there you go.
All right, so 4 elements, 12 signs. And in the, if you Google him, you can see some of the images. Dr. Emoto, E-M-O-T-O. And there was a section where he played very soothing music, and the crystal was perfect. And he played heavy metal, and it was like missing an arm. And then he played classical music that was very flowing, and it was this beautiful crystal. And then he played something that was more like emotionally disturbing, because some classical music can be very emotive, yeah.
Well,
and that one was very
picked
different.
a good name then, didn't he, Emoto? Eh?
Yeah. So I just want to show you a couple of these. I'm not going to read but basically what he's doing is through some means of vibration, either speech, sound of some sort, music, he would focus on the droplet of water, and then that sound, word, music would crystallize. So this is Dolphin's Song. I don't know if you can hold it.
I should have set the other camera up. I did say that, but never mind. I will move closer here, good people. If you can see, these are actual photographs taken under a microscope of the ice crystal of the water when frozen. So they're quite beautiful.
It's really wild. This one is Self-Love.
It's a little bit fuzzy in the centre, look. Oh, how cool is that?
This is Autumn, when many things are dying back.
Really amazing the way they crystallise. It has like little leaves on the outside of it. It's like going to shed them off almost.
It's Wisdom.
Wisdom? Gosh. You'll never think of snow the same way.
And this is water from Lords.
Oh, this is the healing water.
Yeah.
Ah, how interesting.
And then
it's a show and tell. You never thought you were getting a slideshow today.
And then
did
you know that we've been destroying the coral reefs for a very, very long time. This one is fractaled, right?
Ooh,
yeah.
The planet won't survive without coral reefs, believe it or not. They're essential. Read up about the Great Barrier Reef in Australia.
And I bet you this one is very different now, 20 years on. That's
Rainforest.
The rainforest.
It's like a jewel, isn't it? Goodness.
This one is beautiful. This is Prayer.
Gosh. Anna says, fascinating. I'd like to see the difference in crystals that say Wagner versus Mozart would cause. Oh, I bet. And he did.
I'm not sure if he did those two,
Might have
but it's fascinating. It just the works of Dr. Emoto, if you go down that rabbit hole, this one is Prayer. Look at how beautiful that is. And little crystals emanating out from it.
Just like kind of beautiful. Oh, look at that. Here, pull that one up. This is Eternity. If you look, you can actually see the outside of it mirrored on the inside, and inside that an even smaller version of that. I'll try and get a little closer, but it's almost like it is going within to a point of singularity, so all that is within is without.
Spring water.
That's Eternity.
I'm trying to find the nasty water.
Sambu Ichi.
That's spring water.
Okay. How beautiful. Fascinating, eh? Anyway, we're going to get... Well, just listen, we weren't supposed to go that far into the weeds here.
No, I thought it's a little... Why not have some fun? Truth is a perfect...
Oh, that's appropriate for the tower, right? Uh-huh.
The towers. Yeah, no, Truth's coming out, I think so. I was looking for the different one.
He's probably not got any nasties in here. Because why would he show a horrible colour?
Well, maybe the person needs that lesson.
Oh, it's got all the glands in there, adrenals and pancreas and all that sort of stuff.
Well, they're all filtering water, yeah.
Endocrine system. Oh, that's wonderful.
Hope is lovely.
Isn't it?
Spirit is kind of cool. Healing is fiery color, and so is thank you. I thought that was really interesting. Anyway,
waters, though.
I really love these,
They
and
are
I
quite
love
beautiful.
the concept, and I think that there is going to be a real focus on water these next 3 years.
Well-
So we have a lot going on, you know. Remember I said in the beginning of January, I said we're going to be experiencing wind events and earthquakes. And I'll be dipped, I really didn't think it was going to be that crazy, but we did have quite a lot of seismic activity. And then Kansas had a tornado last night. And I really
Several tornadoes.
do think there is going to be a larger focus on water over these next 3 years. The lessons that we need to learn about water.
Got your question, Savannah. Just want to say this, and we can maybe even pull the book out again and show how it's done, because there is a way of doing it, definitely. How to use it. She's asking how to use that particular oracle. So it's really interesting, as Lisa was saying, and I've read some things about water. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, the West Coast has been in an extraordinarily savage drought last year,
yeah.
and now they've got water to the extreme, and in the form of even like blizzards in Southern California.
Well, I wouldn't call it a blizzard, but it did snow in Southern California.
They had blizzard warnings yesterday. So it's like, yeah, water is that it controls the climate. We don't realize that, but the whole circulation, the air current circulation, the polar vortex, and particularly the currents within the oceans. There's something called the haline conveyor, which is, you know, how it moves around as the density of the water. And if the water the oceans get desalinated by too much meltwater, where it can actually...
Freshwater meltwater, yeah.
Too much meltwater from glaciers and ice caps being destroyed, it can flip the balance just like that. And there was a film a fair few years ago, I think, called The Day After Tomorrow.
Well, you know, you've got Al Gore's Inconvenient Truth, too.
Yeah, but it's spooky, but it was only partly tongue-in-cheek. And it is possible that, you know, the extreme changes in temperature, you know, mankind's probably screwed, but the planet's going to be fine.
Right. But I mean, we keep poisoning the water. We're only poisoning ourselves.
We are.
What else did Savannah say? I'm sorry.
So she says, I've seen a lot of these, but since they're in card form, how would they be used? Would you like pick a card like you do in an oracle for a message to work on?
Yeah.
And Savannah says, most of my family's on the West Coast. It's been such a mess. Yes, it has.
I know.
Yes, it has.
Again, like 20 years ago, we had an astrologer named Esther Francis who used to work for us. And she did astrology and she read medicine cards. And she moved to Santa Cruz. And she posted a picture of snow on the beach in Santa Cruz.
Get the
And I
hell
was
out.
like, what
just
on
ridiculous.
earth? You know, what on earth? I really think that we need to focus on the layers, right? We need to focus on our own personal water intake. Are we drinking good water, clean, fresh water? We could make crystal elixir water or Reiki water and really make sure that we take some of that in during this time period especially, right? Especially this time of shift from one to the next. You know, while it's in the first decadent, we have that pure energy of Pisces, that first 10 degrees. So like the first year. But we also need to think about drinking water on the planet as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
And the ocean has been our garbage dump since the 70s. And you all know I've been spewing about how we're paralleling the 70s right now. But yes, you would, there's a little booklet in here, but I would also encourage you to try to find the hidden messages in water book. But it's just like any regular oracle deck little book where it tells you the card's name and the meaning of the card and a thing that you could focus on. And you could do it that way, like divinatorily, or you could just work through them one at a time, or you could lay them out 1 to 12, 1 to 12, 1 to 12, 1 to 12, and work with, you have then the representation of the 4 elements and the representation of the 12 signs. So you could say, this first row across are all of the Aries cards. So I'm going to work, I'm going to start on the Aries new moon on the spring equinox, and I'm going to work for a week with these cards, or a month if you wanted to. And then the next month the new moon would be in Taurus, and you could use number 2s for Taurus, and so on, because you could certainly work for the year that way if you wanted to. You could work new moon to new moon, or full moon to full moon, or whatever you wanted to do. But I just think it's convenient that Aries is going to be, the new moon is going to be at 0 degrees Aries, while the sun is at 0 degrees Aries on the spring equinox. So it would be a good time to think about the water, because we're going to need water for planting and everything else.
It's so key, isn't it? It's so key. And it's really, really funny. I know last year Lisa very much got into planting a garden, and that's part of our plan for the whole Tínodra and Celtica.
I just ordered tons of lavender plugs.
Tons?
50 lavender plugs.
Okay. We need more ground. Yeah, what was I going to say? So, yeah, one of the things that we both saw with our own eyes is how much better the plants did with rainwater than they did with water that's come out of the ground. Even though we have a well, so it's actually coming out of our own ground. But it's when it comes from the sky and it hasn't been contaminated with whatever, because
it hasn't filtered through the soil yet.
Yeah,
it's coming from the cloud. It's coming from the rain of the ancestors.
There's something magical about
the
it.
plants would grow like crazy with rainwater, so we're going to actually at the sanctuary have a rainwater catchment.
Yeah.
So I think Wendy is saying something.
Yeah, she said full moon water. That's a really good idea. And Savannah's saying, okay, that makes sense with the elements. I like that. And such a great idea to Reiki our water. It's always a good idea to Reiki everything before you consume it.
Yep.
I always forget I have a crystal water bottle. I'm going to start using that again too.
Yep.
We have them.
So Reiki the crystal, and then the water that you put in, you can do reverse chakra, right, and take the negative energy out, and then you can put positive energy in. And if you don't have Reiki, you can Om your water, because that was one of the most beautiful crystals, Om. It's not in the deck, but it's in the book. But yeah, or you could play music to the water, because we have to think about that. Again, we're kind of repeating some of the things that we said, but what we tell ourselves then becomes crystalled in our own imprint, right? If he could take that drop of water and say, die, 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 and the crystal almost looks like a little caveman with a club wanting to kill something, versus I love you, which is this perfect crystal. So if we look in the mirror in the morning and think, oh my God, I look like crap. Your body says, oh, you look like crap. Oh my God, I feel like crap. Oh, you want to feel like crap. And that gets imprinted because we're mostly water. Oh. But if we looked in the mirror and said, oh, you're so beautiful. I love you. I can't believe how good I feel today.
It's true, though. We are the food we feed ourselves. And, it's all energy. It's energy. It is energy. And that manna, if you will, that spiritual food, what we intake, and we we take things in a lot of different ways. We breathe things, we consume things, we
Well, our brain floats
assume things,
our
subsume
brain kind
things.
of floats in our skull it's surrounded by liquid, you know?
It's, yes.
Everything has.
She's got a liquid brain.
No, you know what I mean. The water is the cushion, isn't it?
It is, kind of. There's all sorts of cerebral, spinal
Oh,
fluid.
yeah.
And
No,
all that
I
fun
know that,
stuff,
but I'm just saying, you think about all of the fluids of the body. They're
There's
all
plenty.
influenced by water.
Influenced.
Yes. What does she say?
She says it's all intention, living intentionally. Courtney,
Yeah.
you're bang on. But it's also believing that intention. Belief is just as important as intention. You know,
Right.
Just having an intention and no belief is not going to take you anywhere. You've got to be absolutely resolute in your belief.
But really, tell
And
your
then it is
water what
so.
it is you want to imprint. I am happy. I am healthy.
I am.
Tell your water that.
I am.
Tell the water, I love you. You make me well. You know, and then drink it. Even if it is full moon water or Reiki'd water or whatever other kind of purified water, the water has memory and will carry a message.
It's true. It's spooky and incredible stuff, and we should. I mean, that's part of our mission with Celtica, with Tínodva, is, you know, to be able to tell people, you may not be able to change the world, but you can change the little bit of the world where you are. You know, just in the actions that you do, and some of them are very, very, very simple. And these very, very simple things done by a lot of people cause a major shift. But the main thing's shifting consciousness, and that's almost like pushing a ball uphill. We've been doing it all our lives,
gosh,
you know.
yeah.
It's like trying to get people, but there are none so blind
come
as
on.
those who will not see, you know.
The hippies are going to take over the world eventually.
Well, the lunatics have taken over the asylum, so why
Yeah,
not?
there you go.
There you go.
Savannah said something else.
What'd she say? She said, so the stuff from the crystal class is about being what we eat goes for what we tell ourselves also. I need to do the Reiki class someday. And so you will, Anna. So you will.
Oh, it was Anna, not Savannah. Could you read that again? So the stuff in the crystal class that said we are what we eat.
Goes for what we tell ourselves also.
Oh, yes.
I need to do the Reiki class someday. I'm sure you do, and you will. And
I'm waiting on that. I'm going to wait on that. I have several people who are in the crystal class that want to take Reiki, but I think it's probably...
asking too much to do both at the same
right.
time.
So right now we're doing Craft of the Wise, Astrology, and Chakra Crystal Energy Clinician. And understand that I'm just coming back from quite a...
Well, you're on the mend. You had a protracted period of
I'm feeling better every
unwellness.
day. Okay, I'm feeling
well on
better
the
every
mend.
day. But I don't think I can commit to any more on my plate, right? So those 3 classes are a lot. And although I do feel I know the material quite well, it's still preparation and making sure that you're giving, a good service to others, right? So I think that when we're done with astrology, I'll do the herbal course, which is magical and medicinal herbs.
Oh, that's good.
And when we're done with the chakra crystal, I'll do Reiki again.
All of these are big binder courses.
They are
Big
all
binder
big
courses.
binder courses.
Big binders.
But there's so much information, you know. What is she saying now? Don't worry.
Oh, don't worry, I have more than enough to chew on with the crystal and astrology classes, but when you do it in the future, I'll be there. Splendid.
I know people were in the past when I used to teach these classes once a week. Like I'd have Tuesday night Reiki, Thursday night another class, Friday night circle, Saturday some other class. People were like, "Do you rent cots in the annex?" And oddly enough, now we want to be able to have auxiliary dwelling units so people could come.
Well, that's the idea. You can do so much
and immerse
more.
themselves.
Immersive learning is a great way to learn. It really is.
This is such a wild crystal.
Oh no, next she'll be touching a. Oh, hello, Mike. How you doing? What was the crystal book you recommend? I see so many claiming to be the best.
Oh, the crystal book I recommend is Cassandra Eason's Crystal Handbook. Because it's done by color. So if, in fact, I was talking to I don't have it in here.
You don't have it? Do you want me to go get
No,
one?
no, it's fine.
Okay.
We have tons of them at the shop. And I think Mike has a Karma card, I'm not sure. But anyway, which, by the way, if it really does snow and we're closed tomorrow, you'll be able to get a snow day special. So, but I was talking to a lady yesterday or Psychic Fair Day, I'm not sure which, but she came in and she was like, she said, I am gonna read, like, get back into things. She said, when I was younger, before kids and grandkids, I had all these crystals, and I explained to her the whole thing about reliving the 70s, and she like, that makes so much sense, but I did this deep cleaning of my house, and I found all these bowls of crystals that I had put high up on shelves, but I don't remember what they are. And I said, well, Cassandra's book is great because you can say, here's my green crystals. And you can go to the green section and look them up and say, okay, this is this green one, and this is this green one, and this is this green one, versus trying to look them up in a book that's alphabetical. If you don't know its name, you can't look it up. You know?
It's got that beautiful visual thing going on.
So there's a little picture, a little square picture thumbnail of each crystal that is common enough that you could identify it, versus some of these books where the picture is of one that's at the Smithsonian Institute. It doesn't look anything like the little piece of matrix that you have. All right, so now we're behind on.
We're behind. We're always behind. Savannah says, "Ooh, I want to do the herbal, but even though I'm already a Reiki master, I kind of want to take it again someday. I feel like you learn differently from different teachers."
Absolutely.
Ain't that the truth?
And you know, as you know, I've always told you I'm a Wiccan snob. I'm a Reiki snob too.
She is, actually. She is. Says this, I can't begin to tell you the number of people say, well, I already have Reiki too. Can't I just come to you for my masters?
Well, because of the Reiki's interesting because the attunement process means that whoever attunes you last is then your master. So recently I've seen some people saying, Reiki refresh, come and I'll reattune you. Well, first of all, we are taught in our lineage that you never need to be reattuned. And then if you're from a different lineage and you get attuned by a different person, your lineage then changes to that master's lineage. So that's something to keep in mind. But yes, many times I've had someone come and say, I'm already level 2, but my master moved away or whatever happened. Can you just master me? And I start asking a few questions because I can't just put the master's attunement into a vessel that didn't have 4 attunements for level 1 and the proper teaching for level 2, right? Like some people come to get mastered who they don't know what a chakra is. And the whole reason that you would have a week, 7 days, in between each of those attunements for level 1, you get the physical attunement and you have 7 days for it to move through all the chakras. You have the emotional attunement, you have 7 days for it to move through all the chakras. You have the mental attunement, you have 7 days. You get what I'm saying. So I'm a Reiki snob too. But I would never discount another master's teaching because you do learn and the intention is there. I'm just saying I won't take responsibility or take someone into my lineage if I'm not sure how they're going to teach, right? So when you master someone, you teach them how to teach. And if they don't have the components or the foundation from your lineage, how are they going to teach your lineage? So, sorry. Soapbox over. I'm very sorry. You can go back to...
Cassie says, I bought Cassandra's book and it's really good. Well, maybe because you wrote it. I don't know. No, it's not. No. It's not that Cassandra, is it? No, actually, Cassandra Eason is actually a very knowledgeable author.
She is.
And she did a really, really, really good job of the book. So, yeah.
I just think it's lovely because you find something. And I think, Cassie, you had said that you had crystals that you'd had a very long time too, and now you were trying to work out what they were. So being able to look them up by the color is fantastic.
It is. It is.
And I think crystals are a lot like herbs in a sense that herbs that we really need turn up growing near us, you know. It was really wild. Like when I was in menopause, TMI, we had pokeweed growing like crazy out behind the annex. And it's gone now. You know, it's just really weird how things happen. But I think crystals are the same way. They come to us when we need them. And that's the next thing we're starting is crystal shorts.
Oh yeah, the second one goes up today. We've been shooting a few of those. They take a little bit of doing because they've got to be done with really close photography and lighting is good. So we're getting there. As always, Lisa does a beautiful job of narrating the sort of short. She's a wonderful. So it's part of our plan. We're trying to work smarter as well, and we think the crystal shorts are going to be a really good thing because they're going to live on our website. They could go on our website as well.
Couldn't they, to introduce that crystal?
You want to learn about that crystal? It's there. So all you need to know about a crystal in 60 seconds or fewer, right? Got to be good. Got to be good.
Yeah.
So we'll be throwing some of those up because we've done a lot of the walk rounds around the store, little sections and all that. You might have seen those.
A lot of people have said they've seen them.
Well, it's kind of cool because for the people who have not been in the store before, they've no idea what it's like until you actually go through the door. You think, oh, it's just a purple house. You know, what's in the purple house? What's in the purple house?
It's just an antique store or something. They don't realize what's in the purple house.
Well, a couple of antiques, but I mean, the store doesn't sell antiques.
Rocks!
Well, unless you count, things that are, millions of years old.
Savannah said something else.
Oh, loving all the shorts, but those crystal shorts are phenomenal. Idea, I'll be watching it over and over. Oh, watch this space. It's our plan to do every single crystal that we can get our hands on.
Which right now we have 130.
And we're not going to do. We're not going to do. Say, for example, I mean, the one that goes up, I think today is black tourmaline off the top of my head.
So we wouldn't do all the sizes and all the shapes, right? We wouldn't do tumbled and square and palm stone and rough and whatever. We're just doing black tourmaline as a category. But we have 130 of those categories.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not counting the fact that we have black tourmaline in like
5 or 6 different ways.
5 or 6 different sizes and rough or tumbled or whatever.
No, the 130 is that many different
kinds of crystals.
So we have our work cut out for us.
So we have literally several tons, and I'm not lying when I say we several tons of crystals.
No, I always worry about the floor. Yeah.
It's evenly distributed.
All right, what is Anna saying now?
So Savannah's. That's Lisa's fave. What's Lisa's fave? No,
black tourmaline, yes it is.
Hang on, I'm so far behind it. Anna's saying, know that the system Lisa teaches in the crystal class is unique and not what's in any popular books. Oh yes, that's Lisa. Well how do you get tangents within tangents in books?
Well,
although
I am
going.
No, the whole concept of the crystal alchemy thing is mine. It really, well, I say mine. It came from Spirit. But I really do need to get that published before somebody usurps me. And yes, what does she say? Smiley face, yes, something.
That's Lisa's fave.
Black tourmaline.
Black tourmaline. Well,
I got it. I have one in each pocket right now.
Well, good for you. People say you can never have too many crystals. I'd argue that point. If you're planning on swimming across a large body of water.
2 in my projective side and 1 in my receptive side.
How many rocks you come around with you?
Well, there's 5 rocks and a scoon in this pocket. And 6 rocks in this pocket.
The scoons. There's something else. Can't speak about that.
I know. We just got too much going on.
It's just...
The days are just packed.
Oh, nuts. They're absolutely insanely.
In fact, when we're done with this, we're going to go pick up soil because our plan this week is to plant all of the seedlings for the garden. So I've got maps and numbers and... So we're going to go get seedling mix and potting soil so I can start.
I just want to get a bit at this point. I mean, it's like...
But lavender is very, very hard to start from seeds. So I got a really good buy on lavender plugs.
How many though?
I think 50.
That's just a lot of lavender.
Well, we want to harvest it. Every crystal that we sell, we put lavender and sage with it.
So when we finally get the workshop sorted, we'll be having a still in there, so we can actually still our own essential oils. Definitely,
that would be lovely.
If it's been grown with magical intent, we talk about this in Craft of the Wise. We talk about this in the herb class. I don't teach the herb class. I know nothing about herbalism, but enough to be positively dangerous. Let's leave it that way. But if something is reared with the intent for a specific magical purpose from the very get-go, Oh,
Well, that's
so,
it. You can put lavender in teas.
Yes, you can. You can
in
cook
little
with
tea
it.
cakes. You can make little cakes with lavender, and it's in herbes de Provence.
That's what I was going to.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse us. That's French country chicken to use.
All right.
Herb
And
de
what else?
Provence.
No, what else?
Yes, black tourmaline. Yeah. So check out the short. I think the short goes up at 3. I want to say.
I don't know. The
But-
barn goes up today. There's
2
another episode of that.
Oh, you've
We have
gotta
our
watch
live
that.
later tonight. There's the barn episode's going to be really funny.
Oh yeah.
You
yeah.
can buy merchandise.
You can.
You've
And
got to watch Tarot for Tomorrow for me, please, and share
goes-
that everywhere.
Oh, please do share that everywhere. Really pimp the chuff out of that if you can, because it's kind of cool. And that goes up 8 o'clock every night, and we're committed to making sure that happens. And the idea is, we figured that she'd sit down, she'd get in a sacred space, she'd do all her divination stuff, line them up, and then have at it. So she's babbling incoherently at the end of it.
Dare
but
I
then
tell the story
the story?
of
There's
the
a sto-
voice?
Oh, you could. Which one's that on? I don't remember. There's one
All
day.
right.
It's if
So
you've got good
what
audio, you'll hear it.
What I did was I set up the sacred space, I lit my candle, did my thing, and I just recorded 30 Tarot for Tomorrows, enough for a month. And I just like, boom, 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 a minute reading. Boom, boom, boom. It has to be under a minute. So he does the editing. And I did this on my iPhone. And those of you who know me know that, we're lucky enough that I was able to do them on my iPhone. There's no way I could alter them, right? So he says to me, come here. I know you're clairaudient and you hear things, but do you hear in your own voice? And I said, well, I've never really thought about it. But yeah, I said, I do hear in my own voice. And I said, sometimes I know what the card is going to be before we turn it over. And he said, listen to this. And this one clip, I think it's 10 of Wands is the
I
first
believe it
card
is, yeah.
down. All right. So this one clip, my hand is like on the card this way. It's not been turned over. So my hand's on the card this way. And you hear in my voice in a whisper, 10 of Wands. And before I finish the word wands, you hear my voice turning the card saying, 10 of Wands, 5 of, And he's like, how did you do that? I said,
Yeah, no,
I didn't do it.
it's not been doctored. It's not any kind of. You don't get preceding digital artifacts. You can't have them. So
Preceding digital artifact. That's a good word. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, you can get weird stuff happen sometimes when you have regeneration, but this is a completely undoctored audio
so
straight
weird.
off the iPhone, and it's like
it kind of gave us both the chills because
like
you can
weird
hear it.
stuff.
10 of Wands.
Yeah, you get to the what? You've got to. We'll hunt for it maybe, and we'll put it up. Well, and I'll really amplify the audio track so you can hear
I got
it.
to figure out which one it is. I'm pretty
I
sure it
can't
was 10
remember
of
now.
Wands.
It was all a blur.
Because we did 31 of them in one day.
Yeah, and then don't forget. I mean, it's like the fun thing. This is like
This has definitely become a second job for us.
It is,
right? Because we're doing tweets, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook,
Twitter.
Twitter.
Oh, you said that.
Yeah, YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have our lives and our tea party, and it's just become wild.
It is. Hello, another Cassandra. Hello, Cassandra. And she's good evening because Cassandra is, I think, in Cyprus, aren't you, if I remember
Oh,
right?
I don't know. We've missed a lot here.
I think she
We've
is.
missed Linda. Hi, Linda.
Oh, hi, Linda. Sorry.
We've got Courtney saying, I really have been enjoying all of Lisa's videos. Thank you very much.
Yeah, notice everybody enjoys your videos.
Well, no, it's the readings ones she's
Oh, I
talking about.
see. I'm telling you, I'm
You're
just the token bloke.
You're just the eye candy love.
I'm just the token
No,
bloke.
they're-
They just keep me around for comedic
Right, but
value.
no, like
That's
my
what
tarot scopes is what she's talking about because I
Right,
talk
right.
about the overview for the month and then I give the reading.
So yeah. Oh gosh, Cassandra, you're gonna have to go back and listen to everything, because I guess you're joining us a little later with time differences and all that
Yeah,
fun
and we're
stuff.
about
but-
done, I think, today.
Yeah. We're only on for an hour.
All right, so I got all these things to recap.
Yes.
Please,
go for it.
please, at 8 o'clock at night, watch Tarot Scopes and share that short on
Tarot
what...
for tomorrow.
Oh, sorry.
Even use the right.
Tarot for Tomorrow, 8 o'clock every night. Watch Tarot for Tomorrow and share it all over the place. In a day or so, March's tarot scopes are going to come out. If you share them all over the place, that would be wonderful. Thank you. We have a merch shelf. You can get t-shirts and mugs and stickers and tote bags. We would love for you to help us out because whatever money we get from this is going to build Celtica. That's why we're taking it so seriously.
We are.
We have memberships. If you want for $5, you'll get $5 in karma points every month. And at the $20 level, you'll get into a separate spot of members where we'll do mini classes and meditations and things like that. The barn video.
Exclusive content. So
the barn video comes out today.
Next episode.
The next episode of that.
7, I think it is, isn't it?
And we'll be back at 6:30 with our Witches Tea Party Live and do readings for people. So what is this now all saying?
Cassandra says, oh, okay, I love you. Namaste. Namaste to you. And Savannah's actually saying, Woa before that, presumably
Oh, because of
talking
the
about
voices.
the
And
weird...
she says, Tony, her hubby loves to listen to Anton. So there you go.
Well, thanks, Tony. I honour you, sir.
Well, nobody's disputing that your information isn't good. You're the geek.
Just watch the barn video later. That's all I'm saying, okay? But you've got to watch it all the way through. I don't know if any of you guys ever come across. I know it's a British program, so you may not have come across it. But the three guys that do a program. They used to do it on the BBC called Top Gear, and Jeremy
right.
Clarkson, Richard Hammond, and James May. They're like the absolute dogs of presenters. And poor James May gets a rough time
May
because
is
he's
really
like
smart one.
He's a smart one, you know. But I feel for him. I sympathise with him now. So. It's going. So yeah, oh god, he cracks him up. Well, yeah, no, most people laugh at me. I've become accustomed to it. It's like,
Oh dear.
I remember when I was in the office. Your men will follow you anywhere, mostly out of curiosity.
Yes,
It's
there
like,
you go.
What the hell's he doing now?
Well, again, I just think between us we have quite an interesting collection of life experience.
Just a bit.
Just a bit.
And you know what? The best is yet to come.
So
I
would it
really
be.
do believe that. And I sometimes go back, and if you'll permit me a sentimental moment of reminiscence,
Oh,
if you
dear.
will. No, honestly, my life transformed when I met Lisa. Totally, utterly transformed. And it wasn't that I was miserable before, because I wouldn't class myself as ever really being miserable. Yeah, I've been through some crappy times
Right.
in life,
Yeah,
and
no, we all have.
I've been very, very down. But I'm not inherently a miserable person. But I can't imagine a life without
This kind of spiritual
this
work.
kind of
and-
yeah. It's been transformative for me, and there's no. It just feels so good to be able to
Help people.
exactly
Honor people.
and help people be the best they can possibly be. That really, I don't know, does it?
No,
for me.
we
It
understand
does it
we're
for
very
me.
blessed, and that's why we really try to take that responsibility seriously. You know,
It does.
yeah. Charlotte agrees.
Charlotte apparently agrees, or either that she's protesting because she's still a cat, which
No,
is
she
possible.
wants to come and watch chipmunks on the
Oh
TV.
yeah, well there's screens here. There must be chipmunks and stuff like that. Anyway, listen, we're waffling
on.
We're waffling. So
Remember, water has memory.
yes,
Remember to drink really good water. Program it, charge it, clarify it. Do what you're going to do, and we'll see you for the tea party at 6:30.
if just as a shameless plug, this water crystal oracle, because she was mentioning that she had a look to see because she found out, people are going to want it. Oh, I better see if I can
If you
find
bought
some.
it from us, I would be really happy.
Yeah, so she found 4. So if you want one, let us know through the usual channels and all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
And
give the shop a call because we
yeah,
only have 4.
Yeah, we only have 4.
And they're not
so-
on the website.
No, there's no point. They're well
So I
out of
can't get
print.
any more.
So there you go, and we'll see you. We'll see you at 6:30.
We'll see you at 6:30. We'll have
Same-
a bunch of different decks to do,
Same back channel,
and we'll
And-
have some insights and see what we can find out.
and just please, if you're on our street team, pimp us all over the place. You know how it goes. So we
Thank you, guys.
we better go and do
See you
something.
later.
We've got a million
Peace
things
and
to do.
blessed be.
Blessed be.